Vinyl community, it's Trevor back with another Flat Round and Spun. Here to do my last quarter of 2025 vinyl finds. Like I've said before, in a lot of these vinyl find videos, I try to do it quarterly because I'm not the type of guy that's going to go out to the record store every week. I don't order stuff every week, so I kind of compile it up and, kind of give one big meal instead of snacking throughout the year. So anyway, so it's been a couple months since my last vinyl finds video. Just some cool stuff that I've gotten in the last couple months. Just a variety of things and a variety of sources I've gotten them from. We'll try to get this quick. One that I was surprised that actually got reissued, kind of a forgotten band, and it was an album that I listened to nonstop in the summer of 1994. At the time I didn't have a car. I was walking all over the place, so the Walkman was working overtime. So I had it on cassette. I didn't get the CD till way later, but so I had it on cassette, and it's a Texas industrial metal band called Screw. The album is Dusted from 1994. This was pretty much at my peak of listening to aggro industrial metal type stuff. Really loud abrasive guitars, distorted vocals, some real drums, some electronic drums, but really cool stuff. This is their second album. I really wish their first album, Burning in Water, Drowning in Flame, or maybe vice versa. I really wish that would get reissued. That was on Metal Blade, and Al Jorgensen actually produced that one. But this one later, Adam Grossman, I believe, did this. But good album. I liked it a lot. Comes on a cool orange vinyl, wax, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, really cool stuff from 1994. Dusted by Screw. Something that I thought was like really cool. Well, let me back up a bit. I was out doing errands on a Saturday, and I'm driving down like our main drag here in town, and I noticed a place that was kind of vacant, but they were putting on a flea market. I'm like, oh, I should go in to see if there's records there. Well, they did, but not inside. There was a bread van, bread truck that was a mini record store. I'll try to put a picture of it right here so you can take a look. And I was really intrigued by the whole system of it. I really want to get a hold of this guy and interview this guy because it was a really cool setup of what he has. So I'm in there, I'm flipping through, and something that Rob from Northern Revolutions got me kind of hooked on. Something that he's a very popular guy, but I got this thing for $20, so this was just a steal. I mean, the cover of it's kind of beat up, but the discs themselves are immensely great. And yeah, it's Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band live 1975 to 85. I remember when this came out. I want to say they had old footage of them doing was it Rosalita? Yeah, Rosalita was like a kind of like the single off this, and I believe War was also. Is that on here? Yes, War. That was big cover, but yeah, $20. The discs in here are just immensely clean, but the box, I guess it's rare to find a really good shaped box. But yeah, I'm glad I picked this up. Played it a couple times, really dig it, and it might lead me into actually buying more Bruce Springsteen. Next, I had a video of this shortly, and I deleted it, but my buddy Steve, A is for Alice, B is for Bob, gave me some VCLT of never mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols. He had this in his collection. I guess he got this in a lot in garage sale or something, and apparently he paid $1 for it. From what I gather, going through the matrix, this is a first U.S. pressing, and yeah, sounds great. Put it through my cleaner, and it sounds awesome. Classic. I know he hates that record. I think he calls it the most overrated record in history. Speaking of Steve and VCLT, I forgot to mention this a while back. He also got me, I have yet to dig into this, but he got me this really cool book from the author Martin Popoff. I got a couple of other of his books, but yeah, it's Dio, the Unholy Scriptures, the complete unofficial chronicle of Ronnie James Dio's, I can't even fucking talk today. Ronnie James Dio's solo canon. So, like I said, I've had a couple of Martin's books, and he is very thorough in his writing, and lots of pictures, lots of album artwork in here, and he goes in chronological order, which is really cool. So, Steve, thank you very much for that. At some point, I will be digging into that. Back to the records. A band I discovered earlier this year. I didn't get anything at first. Then I saw that they were coming out with their first full length. I think they had like a couple EPs and singles early on, but it's a relatively new band. But it's they're kind of lumped in the punk rock, area, but they're not really. They're kind of all over the place. But another Texas band from Austin, and this is Something to Consume by Die Spitz, all female band that just absolutely kills. I will be talking about this in another video coming up soon. They have punk elements. They actually have the punk attitude, which is the most important thing, which is sadly is completely missing in what is now considered punk rock. They definitely have the attitude in spades. Great band. 3 of them actually interchange with lead vocals, so that's really cool that you get different dynamics with the different voices, so you don't really see that too often anymore. But yeah, I don't think there's anything really punk rock musically. Their sound vocally, the vocals sound like they were recorded in a very shoegaze type way, but with like an aggressive music. So Something to Consume from Die Spitz, actually released on Third Man Records, which is kind of cool too. So there you go. Then I never get doubles of anything unless it's something drastically different about it. And I have this album, obviously, if I'm talking about doubles, but it's got its original artwork to it. And that is the debut album from Megadeth, and that is Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. This is what I always called the Spirit Halloween album cover. Very cheaply made. And, we got the original logo on there, and it's on silver. When I ordered this, it was pretty cheap. It's only like $25. But I didn't know which mix they were going to use for this. The one that I loved playing was the last one that was released, called the Final Kill mix. That one sounds absolutely amazing. I never really liked the original mix of this, and I want to say it was like 2002, 2004, Dave Mustaine remixed a bunch of the albums, including this one, and those sounded like hot garbage. Unfortunately, that's the mix that they got of this, except for the Nancy Sinatra cover of These Boots. They used the Final Kill version of that on there for some reason. So I don't know how often I'm going to play this. I'm not going to trade it in or anything. I might try to get it framed just to, you know, with the record next to it and stuff. So we'll see. Anyway, Megadeth, killing is my business and business is good. And now we got I'm just going to pull out all three. Another surprise to a lot of us in the hard rock metal world, reissues that came out that we thought we would never ever see. And I got the first three because quite honestly the fourth one never really did much for me. But yeah, the first four, but I got the first three albums by Danzig got reissued. So we got the debut from '88, Lucifuge or whatever you want to call it, the second album from 1990, and How the Gods Kill, which actually the artwork should look like this, but the way it's set up, How the Gods Kill from 1992, all hold special places in my heart with these albums. So I was really happy to get official versions of it. Last year when I was in Boston, when we went to Purchase Street, I got a unofficial version of this, which actually sounds pretty good. But you know, to have an official version is kind of cool too. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, with the unofficial one, if I'm going to trade it in or keep it, but we'll see. But yeah, I got the first three Danzig records, which I'm very, very happy about. Let's see, getting towards the end here. So, as many of us do that are on social media, excuse me, throat's dry. Cheers again. So, like many of us who are on social media, we're scrolling through, I'm on Facebook, and I see this announcement of, hey Seattle, I'm coming into play in March, and it's got a video, but it, you know how it is, it's like on mute, you just see the motion of it. So I click on it, and it's this girl playing acoustic guitar, not exactly folksy, again kind of shoegazy, but I really, really dug it. And the artist's name is Runo Plum, and the album's Patching. She actually did the artwork here on a very cool olive green, very nice. Yeah, so when I heard the song, it was just a clip from the song called Pond, which is actually really good. So I immediately go to my Apple Music. The whole album wasn't out yet, so there was only like 2 or 3 songs available. So I downloaded those, and then when the album was released, the whole thing came up. And you know, I actually, the first few songs I really loved, so I pre-ordered this, and hopefully this doesn't shake too much because there's a kitten trying to get on this table. But yeah, acoustic. I want to say, sorry. Here's the brat. Say hi, brat. Yeah, acoustic has a very 90s vibe to it. I don't want to say compare it to any other artist, but I guess Mazzy Star in some areas. But yeah, I'm horrible at recommended if you like ... But yeah, check out Runo Plum. Look her up on socials, or you know, there's about 4 videos I want to say on YouTube. So yeah, Runo Plum, Patching, just came out of beginning of November. So check it out. Let's see. Now the last 3, if you're a subscriber to the channel of Russ Shaw, he and I met up at Easy Street Records about a week or so ago up in West Seattle. First time meeting up. I mean, we've been commenting on each other's videos for a couple years, and you know, even though we live on the same side of the state, it's just hard for us to meet up because he's on the north side of Seattle, I'm on the south side, and so finally had time to meet up. So go to Easy Street Records. I'll put a link to that video and check out our hanging out. But thing I was excited about was getting Black Metal from Venom, the second album, I want to say from 1982. Great album. And the thing I'm disappointed with it, even though it's on clear, I was duped. This is an unofficial copy. I was so bummed out. I should have known better. Because as soon as I got home, I'm like, because it's a modern record, you know, it's still sealed, no barcode on it. There was no hype sticker because, you know, nowadays that's a normal thing. So this is going to be a placeholder till I get an official copy. It sounds all right, but I mean, then again, it is Venom, so you're not going to find like a Rhino hi-fi of Venom anytime soon. So that was cool. And also to join the club of Richard at Richard's Tap Room and Emma. I already sent them messages on it, so I'm going to join the club of theirs. But I finally got Through the Fire from HSAS, which is Sammy Hagar, Neil Sean, and I forgot the Anderson and Shreve guys' first names, so my bad. Actually, I'm sure it's probably back here. And no. Anyway, so I actually had this on cassette way back in the day. I think I may have listened to it like a half dozen times altogether. But yeah, when I saw this in the bin and I knew my friends really dug it, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get it too. So just great rock and roll. They got a really killer version of Whiter Shade of Pale on here. So HSAS. And then one I've been on the lookout for, because it's hard to find a decent copy of it, and the jacket was good, the disc was great, and it's a debut album from 79? Yeah, 79. And that is Look Sharp by Joe Jackson. This is a fantastic record. I'm sure many of you know some of the songs on it, especially Is She Really Going Out With Him? That was the big hit on here. Got the Time later on, Anthrax did a cover of. So there's that. So that is my final quarter of 2025, my vinyl findings. It's coming up to a 20-minute video. I was also asked to give a shout out, and I will leave a link to this guy's channel. We got Randy, who I met in Buffalo this past year. He's got a channel called The Lion's Den. Great guy. We both love he's not a big Sabbath fan, but he loves the Dio version of Sabbath, which is my favorite version of Sabbath. So he and I, you know, we were like that when we were talking about that this past summer. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel. Please check him out. Give him a sub. He's just now starting out, and just a really cool, entertaining guy. So anyway, vinyl community, I got a couple things lined up. I know I say that often, but I actually do have a couple things lined up coming out on the channel. So hopefully look out for those. Anyway, again, cheers, and we will talk to you all later. See ya!